And we are live. How's it going, everybody? This is Robert One Kenobi back again with another live stream. And I'm bringing you today my WWE Royal Rumble 2016 predictions. And I'm bringing those to you live with a special guest, a very good friend of mine. Special guest, go ahead and introduce yourself, plug your stuff.
This is the Gamerman16 on Twitter, WrestlingFan16 on YouTube, _B de Jesus 1997 on Instagram. Follow me on all those outlets, and let's get this going.
All right, thank you, Brandon. I'm happy to have you with me. I've known Brandon for about, I think, 3 years now, and we've kept in contact via Twitter. But this is the first time we've actually done a video together, so I'm really excited to do this. And I'm happy to have him. He's been a supporter of my channel for about 3 years, no, for about 2 years almost since I started. I've been a supporter of his for about 3, but we've had that connection on social media, so this is awesome, you know. So yeah, like we said, this is basically our Royal Rumble predictions. We're going to predict every match on the card, including the pre-show. And then afterwards, we're going to most likely just share some of our favorite Rumble memories. And if we have any of the viewers, we're going to open it up to questions and comments. So before we do that, I am going to tweet the video out. I'm going to tweet this right now, live.
And how fitting that the Royal Rumble this year is going to be in Orlando, and I'm wearing an Orlando Magic jersey right now.
Oh, yeah. Those were when Shaquille O'Neal was on that team back in the day, man, those were the jerseys to sport.
For sure.
All right, so let me just tweet this real quick. You can hear me typing. All right, so, and if you get a notification, Brandon, if you get a chance to just retweet it so we get other viewers, that'd be great. Shout out to the one viewer we have right now. All right, so Royal Rumble 2016 is this Sunday, live on the WWE Network. And for the most part, I think this show can be good, maybe even great. When you look at the card that we have so far, you have a really good amount of talent in these matches. And I always say this, if an event has the right amount of time for every match, the proper finish, and the 2 or 3, whatever number of competitors goes out there and can do their thing, you can get a good to great show. In the past, we haven't had a real great Royal Rumble event since, I have to say, maybe 2008, maybe even going back to 2005. 2009 was a so-so show. I didn't see all of 2010 or 11. I thought 12 was a good show. 13 was a solid show. 14 didn't like. 15 speaks for itself. So we're going into 2016 now. We really need a good, strong Royal Rumble pay-per-view and a strong Royal Rumble match. I think this is the year that they can deliver, but we just have to wait and see. Brandon, real quick, I just want to get your thoughts. What do you think about the build to this show so far?
So far, I think the build-up has been pretty solid. We've gotten some of these matchups on TV already, but I think so far that I think they've done a good job getting people excited, getting people to want to tune in to the WWE Network to see these matches. And I think they've done, to be quite honest, I think they've done the best job in terms of build-up with Charlotte and Becky Lynch. We're going to get to that match a little bit later on. And, with that match, it's pretty much what the Divas Revolution needs, like an actual story between 2 women who want to beat each other, and one person wants to win their title. And it's very simple, very basic, but I think they've done a good job with that. And all the other matches I think have been built up pretty well too. So I'm very excited. I think it'll deliver. I think we'll have a good show.
Yeah, the match I'm really excited for is the Royal Rumble match itself because of the unpredictability. I mean, 2014, when Batista came back, we were talking about this before we went on the air. When he came back, pretty much people knew he was going to win the Royal Rumble match. Last year, it was freaking obvious that it was going to be Roman Reigns. And for the record, I was one that wanted Roman to win. I also wanted Daniel Bryan. Like, they were my 2 top picks. But the debacle with Daniel Bryan getting eliminated 10 minutes into the match is one of the stupidest decisions they ever made. If you're going to eliminate Daniel Bryan, well, first off, I think WWE should have learned from the previous year that you're going to get a backlash like that if, you know, listen to your audience, because they're the ones that, you know, matter the most in this business, in this sport. You know, you want to give them a great show. You want to give them what they want, what they deserve. And when they did it again with Roman Reigns, and like I said, I wanted Roman to win. I wasn't like a Roman Reigns hater. But when it happened, it got worse. And Roman Reigns was unfortunately at the he got a lot of heat and a lot of hate from a lot of fans. Now, who would think that at the end of the year, those same fans that booed him would be giving him a champion's celebration, a champion's welcome, so to speak, when he overcame the authority. But this year, we'll get to the Rumble in a little while. We're gonna have a lot to talk about with the Rumble. But this year, there's a lot of unpredictability. You know, with the star power in it and the potential star power that could be in it, you don't know what to expect. But let's kick off the predictions with the Tag Team Championship match. The Usos challenging the New Day. You know, the thing that was my gripe right now with WWE is overexposure. Because the Usos and the New Day have tangled, what, 4 or 5 times now since the Usos returned to the
as a team.
roster. Yeah. Since they returned to TV, they've been tangling with the New Day. And, of course, they had that triple threat tag team championship match with the Lucha Dragons as well at TLC. That was a great match. But it's just like, I want fresher matchups and fresher feuds. This is nothing against either team because both teams are great. But it's like, why do we want to see this match when we've already seen it on television? With that said, I have to go with the New Day to win because I just don't see the Usos winning the titles back at Royal Rumble. To me, the New Day have pretty much gone through every team that's come their way. They beat primetime players, Lucha Dragons, Dudley Boys, and the Usos in a previous match. And it's like, who else is left for the New Day to challenge? Now, call me crazy, but there's one team that I want to see the New Day go up against, and it's the Wyatt family. Now, why I want the Wyatt family is because it's a different kind of matchup. The New Day remind me a lot of Edge and Christian with their antics and whatnot, and they're entertaining. Like, you know, Edge and Christian are one of the best tag teams of the early 90s and 2000s, or later 90s and 2000s, the Attitude Era. The New Day, you know, with their unicorn horns and the trombone, well, the trombone that was broken in half now, rest in peace. They're just a lot of fun to watch, the New Day. They're great talent, and they use their little antics to get out of certain situations that they don't think they're going to be able to, you know, make it out of. And they hold on to their titles that way. They remind me of Edge and Christian. The reason I want to see the Wyatt family go up against them is because I want to see if maybe the New Day can be serious for once. The Wyatt family would be a major threat to them because they don't play around. They have, you know, Bray Wyatt, one of the best promo guys on the main roster, and it's like New Day can't weasel the way out of this. The Wyatt family will hunt them down if they have to. But I think that would be an interesting way to set up a potential maybe TLC match at WrestleMania 32, because if you remember, Brandon, like in the build-up to the very first TLC match, there was that moment on Raw where the Dudley Boys and the Hardy Boys like got their revenge on Edge and Christian. Like the Hardys sandwiched them with ladders, Dudley's put them through a table. I think that's what you could ultimately do at WrestleMania 32. Have that moment where the New Day just say that the greatest team on earth, and then the Wyatt family comes out, the Dudley Boys come out, and the Usos come out, and they all use like a ladder or a chair or something, and they like leave their mark on the New Day, and that sets the stage for WrestleMania 32. You can do a 4-team TLC match, and either the Dudley Boys win it or the Wyatt family wins it, because the Usos have already had a tag team title shot. I'm not saying they don't deserve another shot, but I would like to see maybe the Dudleys get that moment or the Wyatt family. But as far as this match goes, I want the Usos to retain. Not the Usos, the New Day to retain. I don't see them losing the titles, but I hope at the next pay-per-view Fastlane we get Usos versus Wyatt family, which I think would be a good program, especially with the Wyatt family considering their personalities and everything. And then it all meshes into a TLC match at WrestleMania.
You know, I like your idea of a New Day Wyatt's matchup. I never really thought about that before, but I'm picking the New Day as well because for me, I just don't see anyone in the tag team division right now taking the titles off of them. Like at one point in the tag team division, it was very stacked, like about a year and a half ago, and now I just feel that the tag team division is kind of thinned out, and I think the only team that the New Day could lose the titles to are Kaz and Enzo or Jordan and Gable. I feel that you need some new blood in that division, so I think you should call them up to the main roster. You still got a couple months before Mania, so and then my idea really for WrestleMania, maybe on the pre-show, or better yet, put them on the main card. Do a four-way for the tag titles with New Day. You can put the Usos in there, Kaz and Enzo, and Jordan and Gable, and I think you got yourselves a really, really good undercard match right there.
Yeah.
And I would love to see Kaz and Enzo win the tag titles when they come up to the main roster. But yeah, I definitely have the New Day retaining here. Again, don't they should not lose the titles until a new team gets called up. So that's
Yeah.
what I got to say.
Yeah, no, I like your idea for WrestleMania. That'd be great if you know, Enzo and Cass do get called up to the main roster. I think they're supposed to get an NXT Tag Team title shot at Takeover Dallas with how they hyped it up on NXT. They did a promo. They directed a promo towards Dash and Dawson, so they may
Right.
finally get that you know moment of vindication. You know, to finally win the titles, which they deserve. I remember predicting Enzo and Cass wouldn't win at TakeOver London, and I was shocked when they didn't because I actually thought they were gonna win towards the end of that match. But I love your idea, Brandon. I would love to see that happen. But if they don't do that, I mean, like I said, the reason I want to see the Wyatt family versus the New Day is because the Wyatt family really needs some kind of they really need to gain momentum. It's like they get built up and then they get fed to someone. Bray Wyatt, for example, got built up really good in the beginning, in the summer of 2013, and then at WrestleMania not 14, WrestleMania 30, he lost to John Cena. Everything went downhill from there. They built him up again. He beat Dean Ambrose, but then he was fed to Undertaker, and then got fed to Undertaker and Kane after WrestleMania, which was at Survivor Series, of course. The thing is, like, I really want the Wyatt family to be the most dominant faction on the main roster because all of them have potential. Even Eric Rowan, I don't really see much in him, but he just fits with that group. So no matter which two it is, whether it's Bray and Strowman, Harper and Rowan, Bray and Harper, I see them as a very formidable challenge for the New Day because they wouldn't play around. They would cut their promos. They go after the New Day. And I don't know if the New Day would necessarily get fan sympathy, but I think the Wyatt family would get more of the cheers from the crowd than the New Day. But I just want to see that match happen because they haven't come across the Wyatt family. And storyline-wise, I want to see how they would handle a challenge like the Wyatt family because, you know, they're unstable, they're unpredictable. And if they just went out there and laid out all three New Day members, you know, that would be like, wow, these guys are making a statement.
Yeah, I really like that idea, and the other thing about that is that it's the heel versus heel dynamic. You don't get that in WWE often at all. The last time we really got that was with the Shield and the Wyatts at Elimination Chamber 2 years ago, which was an amazing match. And yeah, I like that. I like your idea for the heel type of dynamic.
Yeah, I just think, though, because some people are starting to get tired of the New Day, I think Wyatt family would be the fan favorites in this match. I mean, just imagine if one day they're cutting a promo, that Wyatt family graphic airs, and then the three of them are just standing outside the ring. The graphic airs again, and not Biggie, Bray Wyatt's like right behind one of them, and boom, Sister Abigail drops him, and then the Wyatt family just decimates the New Day. It's like, I would just like to see WWE pull that off because I think that'd be a good tag team match for Fastlane. And even if the New Day, I almost said the Usos again, even if the New Day gets away by this much, the Wyatt family could have their number and be like, yeah, you got us. Yeah, you know we had you, so like we want another shot. And then if they don't get the shot, You have the other three. You have the other two teams come out. You got a fatal four-way TLC match at Mania. Either way, we'll see. But we both are in agreement with the New Day retaining. We just don't see the Usos taking those titles yet. We probably don't see them taking the titles for a while now, too.
Mm-hmm.
Next match on the card is the Divas Championship match. Charlotte with her Hall of Fame father, Ric Flair, defending against Becky Lynch. Like Brandon was saying, this has had good build for the most part. I don't think it's the greatest build, but it's something new that the Divas Revolution has been needing for quite some time. And what I like about Becky Lynch's development in this feud is that she's starting to get more aggressive. You know, she was unfortunately the irrelevant woman in this whole Divas Revolution because let's go back and look at this. Charlotte went after Nikki. Sasha joined Team Bad. Paige turned heel. Where was Becky in this whole thing? She was mainly in tag matches. She wasn't being built or used properly on the main roster. The biggest problem with this Divas Revolution was it was the same damn tag matches. And no single diva got a chance to shine individually other than Charlotte and Nikki Bella. And I love the Bella twins, but we all know why Nikki got the chance to be Divas champion. Or why she actually broke AJ's record. If AJ hadn't left, then I bet Nikki wouldn't be champion for as long as she was. But the problem with this Divas Revolution was too many tag matches, the same matches over and over again. No diva on the roster got any development other than Charlotte. And then when Nikki Bella got taken out of the equation, Paige turned heel. Charlotte showed more of a human side, so to speak. It's just we started getting some development, but we needed that in the beginning because the Divas were red hot when this whole revolution kicked off. Now, Becky Lynch, I think she's great. She's a dark horse in women's wrestling. And, you know, I would love to see her win the championship. But I got to go with Charlotte because I think they're building towards something bigger at WrestleMania 32 with Charlotte. I mean, of course, everyone wants Charlotte versus Sasha Banks at WrestleMania 32. But the other match that could happen, and I got this idea off of NoDQ.com because somebody mentioned it, is what if they did Charlotte and Natalya at WrestleMania 32 for the Divas title?
Yeah, and you know, I'm gonna go with you. I think Charlotte. I think she will retain. It's clear that WWE really, really likes her, especially Vince. And yeah, if she wins, you're gonna beat Becky 3 times in a row now for the when they face each other in their feud. But I think Becky's going to give her a really good run for her money. You know, I think we're going to see a lot of submissions. I know you mentioned we were talking on Skype about a week ago, and you brought up the idea of a possible submission match. Even though we're not going to get that at the Rumble, I think we're going to see a lot of really good technical wrestling. You know, these girls are two really good submission specialists. I think they're going to tell a really nice story. Becky's aggression is going to come out in this match. Yeah. I think they're going to get a lot of time, and ultimately, I think Charlotte will end up retaining the title. She'll most likely go to WrestleMania with the belt, which I have no problem with.
Yeah, like I said, I would love for Becky to win that Divas Championship because she deserves it. You know, I just don't. But like prediction-wise, I see Charlotte winning this because I got a feeling they're going to do something big at WrestleMania 32 with Charlotte. And going back to that submission match, that would have been great to see because they're both submission specialists. And it would have been, instead of just a traditional singles match, it would have been something different. There's no way Ric Flair could have, could get involved other than maybe putting Charlotte's leg on the rope if Becky has her in a disarmer and it's like if it's like too close to call and Charlotte's like inches away from the ropes. That's the only way Ric Flair could really get involved. But in a singles match, he could trip Becky. He could, I don't know, body slam. I'm not going to say he's going to body slam her, but he could get involved more physically than in a submission match because it has to come down to either Charlotte making Becky submit or vice versa. Yeah, so I'm going with Charlotte to retain. It's gonna suck that Charlotte's beaten Becky 3 times in a row. There may be some screwy finish, but I just hope Becky has a good, strong showing in this match. You know, I just hope that with this feud and what goes on in the future, that maybe we get the real Divas Revolution on the main roster. I mean, I could make a whole video about NXT, why their Divas Revolution is the true Divas Revolution. But other than that, I hope it's a good match. I'm sure it'll be a good Divas match. I would love for it to be a great Divas match because of the caliber of Charlotte and Becky. But for the most part, I got to go with Charlotte to retain. She'll most likely head into WrestleMania 32 Divas Champion. And I would love to see her fight either Sasha or Natalya. You know, Natalya would be great because you could build it as the NXT TakeOver rematch that never happened because they fought initially for the vacant NXT Women's title, and that started Charlotte's almost year-long title reign. Now, I know they had a match. I think it was the week
last year's Slammy Awards, 2014.
Yeah, and that match went 2 minutes. I don't even remember. So let's just erase that from our memory, and let's just remember the TakeOver Classic they put on. If they want to do WrestleMania 32, Charlotte versus Natalya, there's your TakeOver rematch right there. It took about a year, almost 2 years to happen, and you could have Bret Hart being Charlotte's corner, Ric Flair, of course, being Bret Hart being Natalya's corner. My bad. And Charlotte Flair being Charlotte's corner. That's a money match right there for WrestleMania, and that's the first time it's been a singles match because every other year it's been a tag match or in the case of WrestleMania 30, that Vicky Guerrero Invitational, which I did not care for after the streak was broken. I could make a whole video on that. But yeah, I picked Charlotte to retain. But I would like to see Charlotte versus Sasha or Charlotte versus Natalya. Those are two money matches for the Divas title that could be big for wrestling, big draws for 32.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. All I really want from this match, if Becky's not going to win the title, is for her to have a good showing. She's deserved to have a nice showing, and what better way to have it than at a Big Four pay-per-view like the Royal Rumble?
Definitely, like, give her that moment where, even though she didn't win it Unstoppable against Sasha, she had a breakout performance. She proved that she could hang with the big girls on NXT. Give her that kind of moment, and then eventually give her a good Divas title reign. I just want to see all the Divas do well. I mean, I've said this before. I want to see a strong women's division, Divas division on WWE, just like on NXT. And, you know, there are women like Naomi and Tamina that I think deserve a push because they have potential. They haven't maybe reached their full potential. Tamina in particular, because I've been a fan of Tamina since 2010 when she debuted.
Me too.
And they never did anything with her. She was with the Usos. Then she was with Santino. And then it wasn't until 2012 that she started to branch out on her own as a single star. And then she became AJ's bodyguard. You know, but it's like they haven't really given her a push where she can she can connect with the crowd and they can get behind her. So, like I said, that's another video for another day. But we picked Charlotte, so it's unanimous. We picked Charlotte to retain.
Yep. Next match.
Yeah. United States Championship match. Alberto Del Rio defending against Kalisto. I didn't make a video about this topic, but Kalisto losing the title one day after he won it from Del Rio was just stupid. What was the point of him beating Del Rio then? I mean, that really took away from the significance of the win. That took away from the how special that moment was. And, you know, it's like they're having this rubber match at Royal Rumble, which Kalisto will most likely win, but then there's part of me saying that he's not gonna win. It's like they should have just kept the belt on Kalisto. You want to do the rematch on SmackDown? Do it, but have Del Rio he can't seem to beat Kalisto, so he has to he just gets aggressive and gets DQ'd, and then you could do the match here. It could have been no disqualification for all of that care, or a falls count anywhere, although I know there's a no DQ match coming up next. But yeah, I felt like that took away from Kalisto's biggest win, the biggest moment of his career. So now going into this, I want Kalisto to win that belt back because he deserves a good push. I think he could be the next big luchador in WWE. but there's part of me that's saying that at least that Del Rio will probably retain. So like prediction wise, I'm gonna say Del Rio retains by some cheap tactic, but as a fan, I want Kalisto to win it back. And then I was talking to another friend. I don't know if you saw the other video we did, Brandon, but we were talking about what if they did a Kalisto Del Rio feud throughout the road to WrestleMania, and then it culminates at 32 where it's mask versus title, something like that.
Yeah, I like that. And you know, if they wanted to give Del Rio the title back, do it here. You don't do it on SmackDown. You do it at the Rumble. And I marked the hell out when Kalisto won. You know, I watched him like a lot in the Indies as Samurai Del Sol, and I've been a big fan of his for 3 years now. And I feel I talked to you about this on Skype as well. I feel he could be Ultimo Dragon 2.0.
Yeah.
I think he has that potential, and he could be the next great WWE luchador. And like you said, as a fan, I would love Kalisto to win the title back, but I think Del Rio's going to win with like the feet on the ropes or holding the tights, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was happy, like I was all excited and all when ADR came back to WWE, but he's just the same old boring, stale character he was before he left in 2014.
Yeah, no, when he left WWE and then went to like ROH, AAA, Lucha Underground, he was having better matches. He was just not saying he didn't have great matches in WWE, but he was more himself, and you could tell he was enjoying his work more in Mexico, where he's from, in ROH, in Lucha Underground, which is all about wrestling and you know, entertainment. I mean, well, yeah, I mean, Lucha Underground is entertainment, but it's all about wrestling, embodying what wrestling's all about. So yeah, if they want to do a Kalisto Del Rio feud up to WrestleMania 32, then the way you gotta go is have Del Rio by cheap tactics beat Kalisto. You could have Kalisto come this close to winning, but then Del Rio does feet on the ropes or tights or something like that, and Kalisto doesn't really lose much by losing. I mean, the guy had to cheat to win, and then Kalisto can keep going after him. And then if you want to do the major payoff for WrestleMania 32, you have Del Rio be like, okay, I'll give you one more shot, but if you lose this time, you have to give up your mask. You really want it that bad? You put your mask on the line. I put my title on the line. Opening match of WrestleMania 32, Kalisto wins. He keeps his mask, wins the United States title, and has a WrestleMania moment. You know, has an incredible and emotional WrestleMania moment. That's the way you kick off 32, in my opinion. So, like we were saying, as fans, we want Kalisto. We predict Del Rio is going to retain. But if he does retain, and WWE does a real good job with a potential feud between them between now and WrestleMania 32, then it'll be worth it. But if Del Rio is going to retain, it's going to be by some cheap tactic, which has to happen. So Kalisto remains strong, because if you want to build him up as an underdog, he can't just lose clean. You know, Del Rio has to keep resorting to some kind of cheating in order to beat Kalisto, which I think is the best way to go. But I think this should be a good match. Like we were saying, all the matches on this card have potential to be good to great. Just give them the time they need. This match, give it a good 9-10 minutes, should be fine. Divas match, give it 10, 11, 12 minutes, should be fine. Tag match, I say give it 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Fine, yeah. All right, so
I think next, I think this will be the match of the night. Last man standing for the Intercontinental Championship.
Dean Ambrose,
Kevin Owens, and Kevin Owens.
Dean Ambrose.
Here we go.
And Kevin Owens, yes. Dean Ambrose and Kevin Owens, the last man standing match. This is the perfect kind of match for these guys, especially considering their styles, because they're just like brawlers, hard hitters. So this was perfect. And I kept saying after TLC when I forgot, you know that night when Owens cut a promo where he was like, I'm going to drive Dean Ambrose insane. I'm going to drive him to the point of insanity. I was just thinking, like, what if Kevin Owens beats Dean Ambrose so bad in this match that he just breaks him? Like he beats him to his breaking point. How crazy would that be? B? Brandon? Okay. Anything can happen when it's live, guys. I think Brandon? I think Brandon might have lost his connection, so just stay with us real quick. We apologize for the inconvenience.
I'm back.
Okay. So yeah, so he's back. Anyway, like we were saying,
Yeah,
so,
I said.
What's up?
I said. Kevin Owens. He's pretty much the same character that he was in Ring of Honor, minus the swearing.
Yeah.
He's just this brutal blue collar guy who just wants to just beat the hell out of people, and you just got the perfect blend of two guys that are crazy psychopaths and will kill each other to try to win the Intercontinental Championship, let alone the WWE Championship. And I think this is going to be brutal as hell. It's going to be absolutely. I think it's going to be a really, really, really great match. Give these guys, I would say, give them 20 minutes. Give them 20 minutes to go out there and just kill each other, basically. And I think in the end, Ambrose will retain.
Yeah, for me, this one's a little harder to predict because I'm keeping in mind what they may do with Kevin Owens for WrestleMania 32. You know, there are a few possibilities for potential opponents for Kevin Owens. The big one being Sami Zayn, of course. Everybody wants to see Owens and Zayn at WrestleMania 32. I found out through an interview that Kevin Owens wants to wrestle The Undertaker, and that might happen, which, you know, I just don't know if Taker's going to be able to take a pop-up powerbomb. Like, what could happen if he doesn't take it properly?
Oh.
I'm just thinking of WrestleMania's 14. Why am I saying 14? It happened in 2014, WrestleMania 30, 3-0. No, but I'm just wondering, like, I mean, I know he took a sick amount of F5s from Brock in the 2 matches they had in 2015, including the one on the wood. But there's just something about the pop-up powerbomb that kind of scares me if Taker takes it the wrong way. But and then of course there's Owens and Lesnar, like, which, you know, any one of those matches can happen. So that's why it's like hard for me to predict, because if Kevin Owens is Intercontinental Champion, do you really see Brock Lesnar going after his title? B? I think he got disconnected again. So yeah, guys, like I said, I apologize if he freezes. If his connection is lost or freezes for a certain amount of time, we apologize. He'll get back to me as soon as he can. Well, shout out to TN Couponer. He's one of my subscribers.
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay, cool. Yeah, all right. So, yeah, so like I was saying, to me, Kevin, it's kind of hard to predict this match because it's all about what happens with Kevin Owens. Either he's going to face Sami Zayn, or he's going to face The Undertaker, or you could do a feud with him and Brock Lesnar. But the thing is, do you really see Brock Lesnar going after the Intercontinental title if he fights Kevin Owens?
No.
Okay,
no,
so
that
scratch, yeah.
That's stupid.
Yeah, I mean, I want Owens to regain the momentum he lost during the Cena matches. After he beat Cena, you know, at Elimination Chamber. I just want Owens to be one of the top stars. He's a great talent. You know, in NXT, he was a monster as an NXT champion. He only lost like twice on the NXT roster, and those were both to Finn Balor. So it's kind of hard for me to predict. I mean, like, part of me saying Ambrose is probably going to win, but then again, when I predicted that Owens was going to win at TLC, the opposite happened, which I honestly didn't expect, and I kind of like was not happy with because I didn't want Kevin Owens to lose. Not saying I don't like Dean Ambrose, but it was like that because of the Hurricane Rana finish, that just, like, you know, that pissed me off because I was like, okay, so he can lose to a Hurricane Rana anytime now. It's like he's not fighting Kalisto, he fought Dean Ambrose, but I would probably have to go with Ambrose to retain. But I mean, if Owens wins, that's awesome. And then if you want to do Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens for the Intercontinental Championship in a street fight, no holds barred, I don't care, like any kind of match where they can beat the crap out of each other, do it. That'd be awesome.
Absolutely. And yeah, I wasn't mad either that Dean Ambrose won the title at TLC, but it's like Kevin Owens lost like that out of nowhere with the Hurricanrana. I had a problem with the finish, so then the title. Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens.
Yeah. Yeah. What was I trying to say? Yeah, like if Ambrose had hit like multiple, like 2 dirty deeds in a row to keep Kevin Owens down, I'd have been fine with that. But he beat him with a Hurricanrana, and it's like I said, you're not Kalisto, you're not Rey Mysterio, who can pull out these, awesome Hurricanrana counters that can, catch your opponent off guard, pin you 1, 2, 3 out of nowhere. But getting back to this match, I think it's gonna be a hell of a fight. I want to see a legit strong finish. I don't want to see like Ambrose tying Owens' feet,
duct taping his feet.
Yes, I don't want that. I want, if that happens, I'm gonna be pissed, because that's a shame to Kevin Owens, in my opinion. If they're gonna do a finish, it better be some finish where they go through a table or they crash through a ladder or something. It has to be some sick bump, some sick spot where they're not gonna get up. It has to be something like that. No duct tape. This is not Over the Limit 2010 or
Extreme Rules 2010.
Yeah.
Or the Royal Rumble 2013 with Alberto Del Rio duct taping Big Show to the ropes.
It was Big Show, so I mean, nothing against him, but did anybody really care that he got duct taped? I mean, it's a Big Show match. If it's Kevin Owens, I'm gonna be pissed, because he could break through the duct tape, I guarantee you. So it needs to be a pop-up powerbomb through a table or a pop-up powerbomb through a ladder or some kind of crazy finish like that. But we're expecting this to be an awesome fight. We'll most likely be match of the night unless the Royal Rumble match surpasses it. But this is just being an awesome match. And prediction-wise, I'm going to go with Dean Ambrose. If Kevin Owens wins, I'll be more than happy, because I want to see Owens rebuild himself as Fight Owens fight. And who knows, maybe the Intercontinental Championship win could lead to him and Sami Zayn interpromotional in a street fight or a I Quit match or something. Or, I mean, because Undertaker's not going to go for the Intercontinental Championship. He doesn't need it at this point. So this prediction, for any of you guys watching, just tell me what you think. It really comes down to what happens to Kevin Owens. So do you guys see him winning the title, or do you see him not winning the title and going on to fight Brock or Undertaker? But I'm picking Kevin Owens, and I'm not Kevin Owens, Dean Ambrose. So you said Ambrose, right, to retain? I think Brandon said Ambrose to retain. All right, so shout out to TN Couponer for all your comments. He thinks Kalisto will win the U.S. title at WrestleMania 32. I think so too. If Del Rio keeps cheating to win, I think so, because you can keep that feud going for a little bit. Ladder match, mask versus title. Not a bad idea, actually. Kalisto could be the next Rey Mysterio. I totally agree. These are all TN Couponer's comments, by the way, so shout out to you if you're watching. Brandon, tell me when you're back. Oh, there you are.
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay, yeah. No, like I said,
sorry about that. I'm really, really sorry.
It's all good. I told those watching that if you cut out, I'm just gonna get you back on. We apologize for that. Anything can happen when it's live. So I picked Ambrose. You're picking Ambrose too, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Now we get to the main event, and we have a lot to talk about with this match. So brace yourselves. This is what I've been waiting to talk about for a while. One versus all. 30-man match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. This is the first time in history that the champion has to defend his title in a Royal Rumble match. Roman Reigns, the defending champion, the #1 entrant, versus 29 other challengers. Now, when this match was announced, I I first thought like, wow, they're gonna actually do a Royal Rumble match with the title on the line. Like, that's crazy. And then I started thinking, well, wait a minute, is that gonna take away from the prestige of the Royal Rumble match? Like, what happens if Roman retains? How are you gonna crown a number one contender that way? Like, is every match gonna be for the title? But then I thought about it and it's like, you know what? I would prefer this than Roman having to face like Sheamus again or all of the League of Nations in a handicap match, you know. So I'm happy with this. I think this, because this match has generated a lot of buzz with not only the title being on the line, but like everybody that's been announced and people that may be that may show up. So let's start off with the match itself. There's one of two this match is going to end one of two ways. Roman retains, which I personally don't want to see because I think that's going to cause backlash. And WWE 3 years in a row with a Royal Rumble match having backlash on the winner or lack of a certain participant. Or Roman's going to get screwed out of the title and there's going to be a new champion. And I personally want to see a new champion crowned. Now, who do I want to see crowned as champion? Well, consensus answer is Triple H as the number 30 entrant. I would have no problem with Triple H winning because it has to be Triple H and Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 32. Now, I said that the title doesn't necessarily need to be involved in this feud because it's been about Roman Reigns and Triple H for a while now. And these two were supposed to meet at SummerSlam in 2014. And Roman needs this match with Triple H to ultimately put himself over as the next top guy. The reason I don't want to see Roman win is because if he wins, that's Super Cena 2.0 right there. That's something I expect from John Cena. Like, if the Authority wanted John Cena out, they'd throw him in a Royal Rumble match as number one, and he'd have to defend his title against 29 other guys. You know Cena would win that right away. That's something I expect from John Cena. Roman Reigns, he has to have some kind of vulnerability, so he has to get screwed out of the title. Now, I have a friend that pitched this idea, Brandon, about Roman as number one. He is number one, obviously, now. And then some generic music hits at number two, and Roman's waiting for his opponent. And then from the crowd, with a sledgehammer in tow, is Triple H, who just lays him out and throws him over the top rope, and Roman's the first guy eliminated. What do you think?
That would create a lot of buzz. It would certainly create a lot of intrigue to see the rest of the match, to see who would be the new champion. I think the crowd would be, I think they'd be pretty happy with that. And I just think, for me, there's only three people that I think Roman can retain. That's like number one.
Yeah.
Triple H, again, like you said, could enter at number 30 to being another Brock Roman match in the main event of WrestleMania, because their match last year, which you were at live, was amazing. One of the best WrestleMania main events of all time. And I'm going to get into some of the surprise entrants that we could probably see. We could probably see the Bullet Club. We could see Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows. We could see NXT guys. We can hell, if we see Ty Dillinger, I would be happy with that. If we see Apollo Crews, I would be happy with that.
I would love.
So excited. There's NXT guys can be called up. AJ Styles could be in this Rumble match. It's going to be so freaking loaded with star power, just like it was in 1992. Go ahead.
Yeah, we're going to get to AJ right now because he's the wild card in this whole thing. Because, when news broke that he and Nakamura and Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson were possibly going to sign with WWE, they were leaving New Japan, that created a buzz. And right away, people started saying, oh, what if AJ's in the Royal Rumble match? What if Gallows is in the Royal Rumble match? Nakamura, Gallows, and Anderson are going to most likely be in NXT, but to see them in the match, that would be awesome. And like I said, AJ is the wild card in this whole thing because people want to see him. People get an enormous pop if he comes out in the match. The only thing is, are you concerned that if he does enter the match and he doesn't win, well, if he enters the match, that people are going to demand he win? Anything can happen when it's live. Yeah. Anytime. Again, to any of you who are watching this live or who may be watching this later on in the day, we apologize. We have had some issues with connection and whatnot.
Hello?
Hello? All right.
Yep.
Okay, so do you think, Brandon, that
predictions?
What's up?
Vince McMahon is interrupting our prediction.
This is like we were doing a Skype call and he kept getting cut off, and I think like we were joking around like, oh, Vince heard me do my Sasha. Oh, you want Sasha? I'm gonna give you Sasha on the pre-show. I think he heard that. And
now he's hearing us talk about AJ Styles and man, and I lost my train of thought. Oh, I think like maybe, I don't know, 35% of the fans there might not know who AJ Styles is, so I don't think there's going to be too much backlash for him not winning the Royal Rumble. And plus, as a fan, you just got to think of this logically. It would be way too soon for him to win the world title. Seriously.
Yeah. I have a friend who said that there's no chance in hell Vince would ever give him the title on his first night. I would have loved to have seen AJ Styles as a fan. I would have loved to have seen him win the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. I mean, I had this scenario where it comes down to him and Brock after Roman gets screwed and Triple H, gets his last laugh, and like Brock, like AJ manages to eliminate Brock. And then you could set up Brock Lesnar versus AJ Styles in the main event of WrestleMania 32 for the championship, which would be freaking insane because who'd have ever thought Brock and AJ would even be in the same company to wrestle each other. But yeah, I mean, surprise entrance. We have so far, we have, in addition to so with the 2 winners of the kickoff match, that's going to make 18 entrants, and then I believe the Social Outcasts are in this match, so that makes 21. And then Neville, Truth, and Titus O'Neil are in the Rumble match too, so that's 24. So there's 6 open spots for any surprise entrance. Somebody mentioned Booker T, and I think Booker T would be a cool surprise entrant. I mean, obviously he wouldn't win, but I would like to see Booker in. That'd be cool if Booker was in a Rumble match. You never know, because with the championship on the line, anybody could come out in that Rumble match. Freaking Barry Horowitz could come out and want to win the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match, or freaking the Gobbledygooker could come out and want to win the championship. Although I don't want to see it. I'm just saying, like. Now we talked AJ. He's a wild card. I have another wild card, and that's the Undertaker. Could Undertaker make a surprise entrance in the Royal Rumble match? I'd like to.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, because it's the title. Now I have a scenario, Brandon, that's a long shot. I thought about this last night. It's a long shot, but if it happened, it would be the most unexpected scenario. It would be the most unexpected finish in the match. What if Undertaker won the title? What if he's number 29 or 30 and he wins the thing? After Roman gets eliminated, what if it's Taker as the last man standing?
That is indeed a long shot. I think it would be a really nice image for fans to see him win the title one last time. He clearly doesn't have a lot left in the tank. And, I think that would add some prestige to his match at WrestleMania, whoever he faces. I think it would... I think it would be great just for the image of it. As like, a program going forward, it's not very good, but I think as the image of Taker winning the Rumble and the title one last time would be pretty damn cool to see.
I started like marking out about it as I thought about it, because what if it actually happens? And then I was thinking, like, Undertaker could go into WrestleMania 32 as a champion. And you might say, oh, well, Rob, it's predictable that if he goes in as champion, he's going to lose. Well, what if he goes up against the top contender, beats the top contender, and then the next night on Raw retires and relinquishes the title? That could happen. You could end WrestleMania 32 with The Undertaker, middle of the ring, championship in hand, having taken his last bow. That would be an iconic moment. That would be quite an emotional moment. That would be an unforgettable WrestleMania moment. It could happen. I mean, it's a long shot, but Undertaker winning the Royal Rumble match, winning the championship, and then going on to face, I don't know, Roman or I don't want Brock because they've already done a WrestleMania match. But if they did Brock, hypothetically speaking, it might not be as predictable because Taker might be Brock and then leave WrestleMania champion and retire the next night. But if Undertaker was to go into WrestleMania 32 the champion, I'd probably want to see him go up against Owens or probably Owens. Owens is probably the only guy I'd want to see Undertaker defend the championship against at WrestleMania 32 because it's not going to be Sting. I don't think Sting's going to do it with I don't even think he's been cleared to wrestle. So it's a long shot. It is a long shot for Undertaker to win the Royal Rumble match, but if that happened, no one would see that coming. And that would just be the OMG. That would be the front runner for OMG moment of the year, like Undertaker winning the Royal Rumble match and winning the WWE Championship. But let's not count him out. He could most likely make an appearance in that Rumble match. And I mean, for him and Brock to go at it again in the Rumble, like 13 years after when they were in the final 2 of the Royal Rumble in 2003, that'd be awesome. Never say never.
That would be awesome. Never say never. And I also read this on NoDQ.com that Josh, the winner of Tough Enough, might appear in the Royal Rumble match. And apparently he pissed off a couple of main roster members, including Kevin Owens, and called the social outcasts on Twitter the social jobbers.
Yeah, that guy got himself some big heat for that. But you know what? I'm gonna say something. I'm not justifying what he said, but when you look at it, Adam Rose, Bo Dallas, they've been jobbing. And the unfortunate thing about a faction like that or a faction like the League of Nations is when WWE doesn't have the right direction for guys like that, they just throw them together in a stable and hope for the best. Honestly, of the social outcasts, Axel and Bo Dallas are the only two that I want to see like get a good push. That should have gotten a good push when they came to the main roster. I've never been a Heath Slater fan, and I honestly never cared for Adam Rose. And it's not a personal thing. It's just I've never cared for them as performers. League of Nations, I've already said that they should all be great performers on their own level. You know, they should all be top stars, world title contenders, and that's that. Rusev and Barrett. Okay, you know what? Owens and Ambrose, if you throw them into the mix, they make 26 competitors. The League of Nations is in it, so that's 29, including. Well, I don't know if Del Rio's in it. I think he is in it. They haven't really like verified on WWE.com, but I think it's to save. I think it's to save speculation or whatever. I mean, I'm assuming the social outcasts are in it. I know Neville and R-Truth and Titus are in it. That's why Darren Young's teamed up with Damien Sandow. It's random, but I mean, so if we exclude the social outcasts, I don't know if they're included. You have 21, and then the other 3 League of Nations is 24. So I'd still leave 6 spots open. So maybe Ambrose will enter, maybe Owens will enter. Maybe Kalisto will enter. I don't know, but I just hope we get some good surprise entrants in the Rumble match. That's all I'm asking for. And in the end, I hope for a good to great Rumble match. I don't give us a Rumble match we'll be talking about for a while. It's not going to surpass 1992 because that is the greatest Rumble match of all time. But give us a Rumble match we're going to want to talk about for years. That's all I ask. So, what is ultimately your prediction, Brandon, for this match?
2 words words, Brock Lesnar wins. I'm saying that right here, right now. He's been a destructive force as of late. You know, he's been taking out everybody. He took out Roman Reigns 2 weeks ago on Raw. I just think you have to pull the trigger. You have to give him the title again and roll with him for the main event of WrestleMania.
My prediction is Triple H to win it. I've said that whether it's with the title on the line or not, Triple H versus Roman Reigns has to happen at WrestleMania 32. This is the match that can ultimately solidify Roman as their next top star. And if Roman wins, WWE do not make the same mistake 3 years in a row. If you go 3 years in a row making the same mistake and you get the same backlash from the fans, you're pretty much screwed. Do not have Roman win that match. Either have Brock win it, Triple H win it, or hell, go for the long shot and have The Undertaker win it and have a new champion. Because Triple H versus Roman Reigns is the match that can really put Roman over. It has to happen at WrestleMania 32. If Roman wins, then what was the whole point of him beating up Triple H and everything? You know, there has to be a definitive payoff, and it's not Triple H. It's not Roman Reigns winning the Royal Rumble. It's him getting screwed out of the title and screwed out of winning the Royal Rumble. Because he and Triple H can have a hell of a match. I know it.
I think it would be the last great match of Triple H's career, and I think I really feel that it would be a hostile match. It really could. Roman and Brock felt like a real fight last year at WrestleMania. I think Roman and Triple H can deliver the same thing. There's like I said, I think there's very few people that could win, but at the same time, it's really unpredictable. It kind of is.
It is. You know, and what I'm most excited for is the star power. Jericho's in it. The whole Wyatt family's in it. You got the Big Show, of course. You have Sheamus. You have the New Day. You have Brock, of course. You have Roman as the defending champion. And you never know what surprise entrants may arrive. Now, there's another wild card we haven't mentioned that I'm going to talk about, because if he is responsible for costing Roman the title along with Triple H, you can do a WrestleMania match with these two, Roman and the guy I'm going to throw out, but you can save that for 33, and that's The Rock. The possibility of The Rock being in the Rumble match because it's for the title. I mean, who wouldn't want the chance to be WWE World Heavyweight Champion in the Royal Rumble match, you know? So I don't think Rock's going to be in it, but to see Rock in the Royal Rumble match would be insane. What do you think? What would you think of that, B?
I don't think it's going to happen, but I think that would be kind of interesting. I think The Rock, if Triple H doesn't win the Rumble, I think The Rock will end up wrestling Triple H. Or if they do a Roman and Triple H match, I think The Rock will be in Roman's corner.
Yeah.
Either way, I just don't see it. I just don't see Roman winning the champ, or not Roman. I just don't see Rock being in the Rumble winning the championship.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't see him winning the championship, because someone said that if he wins the championship, they do him and Triple H. You need to do Roman versus Triple H. And then at WrestleMania 33, you could do, like a passing of the torch match. You could do a heel Roman Reigns versus a face Rock. Because I was thinking, like, what if The Rock was to screw him out of the title? But then it wouldn't work. No one would want to boo The Rock. If it's going to be Roman and, you know what? I know the perfect way they could set this thing up. If they want to do Roman and Triple H at Rock and Triple H at SummerSlam, you could do it, and then you could have Roman I don't know how it would happen, but you have Roman like screw The Rock out of the match, and then a year later, Roman could maybe be the champion or be in the Rumble match, and then The Rock comes out to screw him over and eliminate him, and then they can go at it at WrestleMania 33 and pass the torch. But as far as the Rumble match, my prediction, Triple H to win, but I would have no problem if Brock Lesnar wins, and I would mark out if The Undertaker was to win. I know Undertaker winning is a long shot, but if he won it and then went to WrestleMania 32 in his last match, the last ride as the last outlaw with the championship, That'd be awesome. I mean, who else could say in their last match at a WrestleMania, let alone that they were the champion and they retired? Like, retired as champion, not Shawn Michaels, where he left for 4 years and then came back a stronger man, a better man. I'm talking about, like, a legit champion retires the night after WrestleMania, either with the championship or as the last defending champion. You know what I mean? Like, that would just be awesome. But it's a long shot. But hey, WWE, you want to give us something new to talk about? You want to give us some buzz? Have Undertaker win the championship in that match. That'd be awesome. But yeah, he picks Brock. I pick Triple H. AJ Styles could enter this match. It'd be freaking insane. The Bullet Club may enter this match. NXT guys can enter. That's why it's unpredictable. This is the one Rumble match that I feel WWE needs to really deliver with. And if they don't deliver, I don't know what else to say. I mean, who's going to take the Royal Rumble serious if this match doesn't deliver? We will find out. But that will do it for predictions for the Royal Rumble 2016 event. Brandon, you want to go over your predictions once again? Just as because I do this. Yeah, as a recap.
Sure. I got New Day retaining the tag titles. I have Charlotte retaining her Divas Championship. I have ADR retaining the U.S. title. But as a fan, I want Kalisto to win. Lunatic Fringe to retain the Intercontinental Championship. And then Brock Lesnar to win the WWE World Heavyweight title.
And as for me, my predictions are New Day to retain the tag titles, Charlotte to retain the Divas title, ADR to retain the United States title, Ambrose to retain the Intercontinental title, and Triple H to enter number 30 and retain the to win the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. But if you want to call this a side prediction, my other prediction is that Roman Reigns won't retain. He can't retain because honestly, I already said why Roman can't retain. There's no point in him winning. He's not Super Cena. He's Roman Reigns. And what I would like to see in the future is a John Cena-Roman Reigns match where Roman can beat Cena and get the torch from Cena. And then eventually Roman Reigns versus The Rock at WrestleMania 33. And Roman gets the torch from The Rock. And then you got your next big star, your next face of the company in Roman Reigns. But for the most part, guys, like we said, this should be a fun show. This should be a good show. I hope it's a great show. And I just hope that when it's all said and done, this Rumble goes down as the best in recent years. We will see what happens. Shout out to so I got a comment. I got a couple comments. Shout out to my friend Nate, the reptile guy here on YouTube. He says he wins, then we have Roman win at WrestleMania 32. So he's probably referring to Triple H. He said hashtag Ronda Rousey. That would be cool to see Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania 32. He won't win, but he will throw out Roman. Okay, so he probably means Triple H. Anything can happen. Vince McMahon for years always said anything can happen in the WWF/E. Well, we'll see what happens. So now I wonder, Brandon, if you want to just share any favorite Royal Rumble memories before we go off the air. If you want to like share a favorite memory, elimination match, floor is yours, my friend.
Okay. I've talked about 1992 religiously, so I think I'm going to hold off on that and talk about 2003, because 2003 has quite possibly my favorite, not Rumble match itself, but favorite match in Royal Rumble history, which was Kurt Angle versus Chris Benoit for the WWE Championship. Holy crap, this match was absolutely awesome. If you want a definition of a technical wrestling match, go watch it. This match was absolutely unbelievable. It's weird because just before this, we had one of the worst matches I've ever seen in my life with Triple H and Scott Steiner for the World Heavyweight Championship. But then we got this masterpiece. These guys just went at it for 25 minutes, exchanging their holds. We went from crossface to ankle lock. They just went at it. It was absolutely incredible. And then the ending was just perfect. You know, Angle had Benoit in the ankle lock for, I want to say, a good 2-3 minutes. And Benoit was tapping out, but he wasn't even like on his stomach. He was like on his back while Angle had the grapevine on the ankle and Benoit tapped out. one of my favorite matches of all time. It was a 5-star classic, and I would say it's my favorite Rumble match in history. Secondly, the triple threat match from last year. Incredible.
You know, it's unfortunate what happened with Chris Benoit, the whole tragedy, the whole controversy, but I still appreciate the matches he had. And that match with Kurt Angle was just a freaking wrestling classic. I mean, I was sitting on the edge of my seat watching that live, rooting for Benoit. I mean, he did a headbutt from one corner. Instead of like a regular diving headbutt where the guy's like a few feet away from him, he did it from one corner into the, I think, the center of the ring. And I thought at that moment, Kurt Angle's not kicking out of that. I mean, that was just one of the finest wrestling matches I ever saw. Chris Benoit took the fight to Kurt Angle. He established himself as a future world champion. It was just an incredible match. And then that ending where Benoit is on his back in an ankle lock, in a grapevine ankle lock, tapping out. He had no shame in tapping out. The crowd in Boston gave him a well-deserved standing ovation. That was just one of the finest wrestling matches I ever saw. I'd have to say it was match of the year for 2003. It was just an incredible match. Counter after counter, suplex after suplex, submission hold, you know, crossface after crossface, ankle lock after ankle lock. They went back and forth in a match that just had me on the edge of my seat, and I was like cheering Benoit on the whole time, and it was just an incredible match. And it's a match like that that makes me proud to be a wrestling fan. Now, you did a review about this Royal Rumble not too long ago. It was 2001. That show was one hell of a show in itself. And the Royal Rumble match, man, I just watched it recently. Incredible match, man. Rock and Kane. Well, okay, first off, you have Kane in the match, and he's dominating guys left and right, eliminating them. And then The Rock comes in, and they go a good 30, 35 minutes in that match. There was just something about that Royal Rumble match that had a lot of luster, it had an it factor. That was just an awesome Royal Rumble match. Undertaker and Kane, like, were they gonna join forces, or were they gonna go at it? That moment where they're just staring each other down after they eliminate like 5 guys was awesome. Rock and Austin sitting in the corner and then looking each other eye to eye. Wow, man, just like, you don't get Royal Rumble moments like that nowadays, but that was one of the best Royal Rumble matches I've seen. Kane with his best performance ever. Big Show appearing in that match, you know, making a surprise return. He was choke slamming the hell out of everybody until he came across The Rock.
Yeah, that moment was really, really cool. And yeah, I have to agree with you. 2001, fantastic Royal Rumble match, and the ending with Stone Cold and Kane was really, really good.
When I first saw that match and Kane eliminated The Rock, I'm thinking, oh, Austin's in trouble. I mean, I know Austin's tough, but Kane's been on a roll. I don't know if he's going to stop him. And then he cracks him over the head with 3 steel chair shots and clotheslines him over the top rope. That was an incredible finish. And I think Rock was on the outside for the rest of that match. I think he literally was on the outside as that match ended.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
2001. Great Royal Rumble match. 2002 is another one of my favorite Royal Rumble matches. That one went more than an hour. I know that for sure. Triple H returning and winning was the main storyline going in. But you had Mr. Perfect returning. You had the Godfather returning. You had Val Venus returning. And Goldust entering number 2. Yeah, against Rikishi. And Undertaker doing what his brother did the year before and just cleaning house at one point, and then getting eliminated by a guy named Maven.
And, oh my gosh.
And like I've said, kids, Maven was on a show called Tough Enough. Tough Enough was around before Sarah Lee and Josh and them were on it. And yeah, Maven eliminating Undertaker, one of the most shocking eliminations in Royal Rumble history. And the beatdown after that was great. I mean, Undertaker throwing Maven through the popcorn machine and then actually, like, grabbing a handful of popcorn and eating it. I was like, that was great. That was Undertaker at his best as a heel.
Definitely was. And the stuff they did with the Hurricane, that Stone Cold and Triple H did with the Hurricane in the beginning was so funny.
Oh, Hurricane getting thrown, choke slam him, and then he gets thrown over the top rope. That was great. TN Couponer says, Big Show, I think, chokeslammed The Rock through a table. Yeah, in 2001 he did that. He was pissed that Rock eliminated him. Second year in a row, Rock eliminated the Big Show, and the Big Show, I remember him putting Rock through a table. And then I remember Undertaker and Kane in the ring by themselves and Rock getting back in, having to fight him off. That was crazy. I honestly thought the Final Four, going back to 2001, would have been Rock, Taker, Kane, and Austin, not Taker, not Kane, Austin, Billy Gunn, and The Rock. And nothing against Billy Gunn, because I love, you know, badass Billy Gunn, but I totally forgot until just now that Billy Gunn was in the Final Four.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and Royal Rumble. I mean, Royal Rumble's always been one of my favorite events because of the match itself, and there have been classic matches throughout the years. Daniel Bryan, Bray Wyatt. You want to talk about a match that just recently happened? That was a great match. Anybody who said that Bray Wyatt can't have great matches, look at the match he had with Daniel Bryan at 2014. That was the opener, and that was honestly the only good thing about that match, other than Brock beating the hell out of Big Show with a chair and Roman breaking the eliminations record. But Bray Wyatt and Daniel Bryan in 2014, great opener. Definitely recommend checking that match out if you haven't seen it.
Another one of my favorite Royal Rumble match, like not match itself, would probably be, if I can look back. Oh, another Benoit match. May he rest in peace. Him and Jericho from the Royal Rumble 2001.
Great ladder match between those guys. I mean, Benoit took that sick chair shot when he did the dive through the ropes. There was the tarantula or walls of Jericho on the ladder. That was just great. Those guys had a great ladder match. Jericho and Benoit, I think maybe they had one or two bad matches in their career. Well, not bad, but just average or good matches. But they always had like great matches throughout their career. And that ladder match, I think, was the best match they'd had against each other. That was just a fitting conclusion to their rivalry. And then they go on to win the tag titles together, which I thought was great. I thought they should have been tag team champions for a longer period of time. But, of course, because of Benoit's neck injury, he had to take time off. But Benoit and Jericho, great rivals, and then I thought they were a great tag team. I mean, that match with Austin and
Triple H on Raw.
Yeah, when they won as underdogs was just an incredible moment, you know.
Yeah, the match itself was awesome. It was really awesome.
Yeah, and that was when Jericho and Austin, or not Jericho and Austin, Jericho and Benoit, in my opinion, elevated their stock in terms of main event players. Like, they took their career to the next level as main event guys because they had always been in the Intercontinental title picture. And I'm sure nobody doubted Jericho would eventually win the championship. But I think they really took their world title ambitions to new heights and their main event caliber to new heights when they beat Austin and Jericho. Why am I getting the names confused today? Austin and Triple H in that match. But that was a great match.
I think that was the match where Triple H tore his quad.
That was the match. That was the match where Triple H tore his quad, unfortunately. And then they did that spot on the table where Jericho got him in the walls of Jericho. That was an insane moment, but that was an awesome match with one hell of an ending. That further solidified Jericho and Benoit as two of the best. I mean, say what you will about Benoit now because of the tragedy. I've already talked about 1982, so I'm not going to say as much as, you know, I've already praised 1982 as one of the best Royal Rumble matches, as the best match of all time. It just has it. 1996, however, I thought that was a very fun Royal Rumble match. Shawn Michaels, of course, was the main story going in. He came back from injury and he won the match. Jerry the King Lawler surprisingly had a long run in that match. I think he went 30 minutes, and he spent most of it under the ring.
Yeah, and Stone Cold, I think, lasted about 11 minutes there, which I thought was really good for him.
Right, and you were mentioning this on Skype that you would like to see some young guys like Neville or maybe Kalisto, if he's in a Rumble match, last a good 10 minutes and have a good showing, and then eventually keep getting the push they deserve so they can become top stars. Because Austin only eliminated one guy in that match, and that was Bob Holly. But he did last a good 10, 11 minutes in that match. And that was just the beginning of things to come for Stone Cold Steve Austin. It's just weird seeing him with that hair, you know, and white boots and white tape
Right.
instead of black boots, black tights, and whatnot. But you start somewhere and you eventually move up.
Also, Glenn Jacobs is Isaac Yankem and Glenn Jacobs is Kane. They look nothing alike.
Hell no. Glenn Jacobs as Diesel looks nothing like Kane.
Yeah, that either.
Yeah. Trying to think what other matches were the 2005 is one of my all-time favorites. That match was great. Eddie and Benoit as the first two to start off, and then Rey Mysterio makes it to the Final Four. Edge makes it to the Final Four. Muhammad Hassan gets unceremoniously dumped out by like 6, 7 guys. That was a great moment. Ric Flair trying to eliminate Batista and then like tripping or something, like he grabs Batista, tries to like throw him, but he falls on his face. I was just like, that's priceless Ric Flair right there, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think 2005 was also a great show because you had Edge and Shawn Michaels, great match, underrated opener. You had Triple H and Orton in a really good title match. Undertaker Heidenreich casket match was what it was. Triple threat WWE Championship match with JBL, Kurt Angle, and Big Show was what it was. I still thought that show was fun. I think that was the best Rumble show in a while, in like 10 years, to be honest, because you want to talk a good show, 2012. You want to talk a great show, 2005.
I thought a great show as a whole was actually 2007. 2007, I thought was a really, really great show. You had John Cena and Umaga's Last Man Standing match, which was absolutely awesome. Probably the best match of Umaga's career. The Rumble match itself was great, with The Undertaker winning. And the opener, right, Eminem and the Hardy Boys, I thought was really good.
I didn't like the ECW title match. I didn't like the World Heavyweight title match. I did like Eminem versus the why did I say the Dudley Boys? The Hardy Boys versus the Eminem. I like that. Last Man Standing was brutal. That was one of Cena's best matches. And the Royal Rumble match with Taker and Shawn as the final two. Wow. I mean, my two favorites of all time in the Rumble match at the end. Incredible. And then they went on to start off the 2008 match with Taker as number 1 and Shawn as number 2, which I thought was really cool until Santino Morelli got involved.
Oh, yeah.
No, yeah. But no, nothing against Santino. It was fun while it was Shawn and Taker, and then Santino came in for a cup of coffee, and he was out of there before you know it. And then a year later, he sets a record for being in for like 1 second.
Breaks the Warlord's record.
By the numbers. By the numbers.
I wasn't ready.
The King of the Unibrow, and then boom, over the top rope. He wasn't ready. He wasn't prepared. Speaking of wasn't ready, what about Simon Dean like doing squats and stuff on the outside during the 2005 match?
Oh, that was hilarious.
And that led to Eddie Guerrero's elimination. I still don't know how. I didn't see Eddie get distracted. I mean, Edge just picked him up and threw him out. But
right.
But it was Taz. Taz was great on commentary, so I'm totally fine with that. But yeah, Simon Dean like freaking doing squats, and then he gets in the ring and Shawn Michaels eliminates him, and then Shawn's like doing those lunging up and down squats, which is hella funny. I was like, that was just priceless. And then that led to Kurt versus Shawn Michaels, because that's when Kurt Angle got eliminated by Shawn Michaels. But when he got in the match, he took people to Suplex City before Suplex City was even a thing.
Right. I do remember that. I think I might actually go and watch some of these on the network.
Yeah, I've been watching a couple old ones lately. I'm gonna watch a couple more before Sunday. But yeah, before we wrap this up, I'm just trying to think of any other like great Rumble matches or moments that stand out to me, or if you have any others. I mean, Ric Flair's with a tear in my eye promo, great promo at the end of the '92 Rumble. 96? No, I said 96 already. 2000. What about Kai and Tai getting involved in that match? Like, those guys kept getting thrown over the top rope.
Oh, that was kind of funny.
Yeah. And then I think Taka did a 450 splash over the top rope. Like he got thrown and did a flip and he landed on his face. And the King kept wanting to see the replay.
Right, I remember that too.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it because I can't really think of any other classic Rumble memories. I mean, Cena returning in 2008, no one saw that coming, and I'm telling you this right now, if for some freak reason he shows up at the Rumble match Sunday, he is no human then. He is not human. You know, I doubt he's going to show up, but if he does, he's not human. John Cena.
They say that this injury that he has, that it's like a 6 to 9 month recovery. In Cena months, it's like 4 to 5.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, like we've said, this Rumble match, the Rumble match is unpredictable. The show itself looks like it could be really good to great if just given the right amount of time. I'm excited. We will see what happens when Royal Rumble 2016 comes around the corner on Sunday. I think that'll pretty much do it for our video. So, of course, Brandon, I want to thank you for joining me. Go ahead if you want to say anything, plug your channel once more, be my guest.
Yeah, on YouTube, I'm TheWrestlingFan16. Please go subscribe. TheGamerman16 on Twitter. Follow me. And then on Instagram, I'm _BDeJesus1997.
Yeah.
Thank you, Robbie. I've had such a fun time.
All right, you're welcome, man. It was fun. You know, as of course for me, you know where to find me here on YouTube. I'm also on Twitter at Robbie1Kenobi, just like it's spelled here on my channel. Please support Brandon. I have a link to his channel down below in the description box. Leave your comments down below, guys, and with your predictions. Who do you see winning the Rumble match? Who do you see winning the other matches? This is pretty much a Night of Champions Royal Rumble. Every title is on the line, and I remember, Brandon, you said that would be great if they did that, and they did it. So, yeah, this is Night of Champions come early. But, yeah, guys, as always, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think down below. Actually, before I sign out, I want to see if we got any more comments. TN Couponer says, if Cena's in the Rumble, my jaw will drop. Yeah. My jaw will drop too if this guy makes it back in the Rumble match, and he's supposed to be out for like 6 to 9 months. He also mentioned the Royal Rumble 2000 because that had the great street fight between Cactus Jack and Triple H, Taz debuting in the WWF, Hardy Boys and the Dudley Boys in the tables match, and then Rock, of course, winning the Royal Rumble match. And then the segment that was the talk of the schoolyard, if you know what I mean, Brandon, the swimsuit contest where if you were there live, you saw more than you bargained for. Let's just put it that way.
Yes. Absolutely, in Madison Square Garden.
But still, that tables match with the Dudley Boys and the Hardy Boys was awesome, and it led to the best ladder match in their series of matches, which was the Triangle Ladder match. It's just an incredible match at WrestleMania 2000. Obviously, the Hardy Boys won't be in the Royal Rumble match, but yeah, I'm just trying to think before we close off if there are any other surprise entrants I'd like to see. I said Booker T because he was mentioned. Someone mentioned him, and I thought Booker would be a nice little entry. If Stevie Ray actually made a one-time appearance at the Royal Rumble along with Booker, a Harlem Heat reunion, I'd mark out for that because I loved Harlem Heat in WCW. It's a long shot, but that'd be great. Yeah, I guess before we end, Brandon, is there any other surprise entrant you'd like to see that no one is thinking about right now, like the big wild card, you could say, that we haven't mentioned, like someone just that would make people say OMG?
You know what? I'm gonna say Jeff Hardy. I think he will come back. He will come back to the company. If it's at the Rumble, great. But if not, I think he's going to be back with the company sometime this year.
I would like to see the Hardy Boys return for one last run because they've been teasing on Twitter a match with the Dudley Boys. Of course, we'd love to see them in Edge and Christian, but Edge can't wrestle because if he takes one more bad bump on his neck, he's going to be paralyzed. But yeah, I would love to see Jeff Hardy. If Jeff Hardy comes out in the 2016 Royal Rumble match, that is crazy. I mean, we don't know what's going to happen this year at the Rumble. Anything could happen. It's the truth. You know, I'm excited. We're just going to have to wait and see. So like I said, guys, for those of you watching later on in the day, share your comments down below and subscribe to my channel, subscribe to Brandon's channel, keep supporting us, and make sure to look out for a Royal Rumble review. Not sure if it's going to be live or if it's going to be podcast style like I've done in the past, but definitely make sure to keep checking out our channels for future videos. And until next time, everybody have a good day, have a good night, and we will see you all later. Thanks for joining us.